On October 27, 1962, a single Soviet officer named Vasily Arkhipov refused to authorize a nuclear launch, preventing World War III. To understand how the fate of humanity came to rest on one man's shoulders, we have to go deep beneath the Sargasso Sea. Soviet submarine B-59 was running dangerously low on power, surrounded by hunting American warships. The United States Navy had detected the submarine and was determined to force it to the surface. But the Americans did not know that B-59 was not a standard patrol submarine. Tucked inside its torpedo tubes was a tactical nuclear warhead with the explosive power of the Hiroshima bomb. And the crew had pre-authorized permission to launch it without waiting for orders from Moscow. As the American destroyers closed in, they began dropping non-lethal signaling depth charges to signal the submarine to rise. But inside the metal hull of B-59, those signaling charges sounded like a direct, lethal attack. The submarine was completely cut off from all communications with the outside world. For days, the crew had heard nothing but rumors of war, and they genuinely believed World War III had already started. Inside the vessel, conditions had deteriorated to a nightmare level. The air conditioning was broken, and temperatures inside the steel hull soared past 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Carbon dioxide levels were rising rapidly, leaving the crew dizzy, gasping, and increasingly paranoid. In this pressure cooker environment, Captain Valentin Savitsky came to a terrifying conclusion. He believed his submarine was doomed, and that they must go down fighting for the motherland. Savitsky ordered the nuclear torpedo to be armed and readied for immediate launch against the American carrier fleet. He shouted that they would blast them all, declaring they would die but sink all the enemy ships together. To launch the nuclear weapon, Soviet protocol required the unanimous consent of 3 officers on board. The first officer, Captain Savitsky, was passionately in favor of the launch. The political officer, Ivan Maslenikov, also gave his enthusiastic approval to fire the weapon. Only one man stood between a nuclear holocaust and the survival of the human race. That man was Vasily Arkhipov, the second in command of the submarine flotilla. Though Arkhipov was equal in rank to Savitsky, his calm demeanor in moments of crisis was legendary. Just 1 year earlier, Arkhipov had exposed himself to extreme radiation to save a malfunctioning nuclear submarine. He knew firsthand the horrific reality of nuclear radiation and the true cost of atomic warfare. As the depth charges detonated around them, Savitsky screamed at Arkhipov to sign the launch order. But Arkhipov looked at his sweating, panicked crew and chose to hold his ground. He calmly argued that the explosive sounds outside were not an attack, but a demand to surface. He pointed out that firing a nuclear weapon would instantly trigger a global nuclear war that no one would survive. A fierce, desperate argument raged in the suffocating heat of the tiny control room for what felt like hours. Arkhipov's reputation and unshakable composure slowly began to break Captain Savitsky's panic. Eventually, Arkhipov persuaded the captain to abandon the launch order and prepare to surface the vessel. When B-59 finally broke the surface, they were met by American destroyers, but there was no gunfire. The Americans offered assistance, which the Soviets refused, and the submarine began its long, grueling journey back home. Upon their return to the Soviet Union, the crew did not receive a hero's welcome. Some high-ranking military officials criticized them for not staying submerged and hiding from the enemy, but keeping the peace. The details of how close the world came to destruction were kept top secret for 40 years. It was only in 2002 that the world finally learned about Arkhipov's incredible courage under pressure. This historical moment proves that the course of human history is not just shaped by massive empires or powerful presidents. It shows that sometimes the survival of our entire civilization depends entirely on the courage of a single person to say no.